Imagine waking up to a knock that shatters your quiet morning, only to find your HOA president, clipboard in hand, declaring your backyard fence a criminal offense against community harmony. What started as a petty boundary squabble exploded into a web of forged documents, exposed lies, and a satisfying takedown that left the neighborhood cheering in disbelief. In the sleepy suburb of Willowbrook, Ohio, where manicured lawns hit a pressure cooker of petty rules, Alex Rivera sipped his black coffee on the back porch, watching the sun creep over his cedar fence. That fence, built 3 years ago with city permits and a contractor's thumbs up, had been his sanctuary, a barrier against nosy neighbors and the wind that carried whispers of HOA drama. But on this crisp autumn morning, the gate creaked open uninvited, and in marched Gloria Henson, the newly elected HOA president, her pearl necklace gleaming like a badge of unearned authority. "Mr. Rivera," she cooed, voice dripping with that faux southern politeness that masked a shark's grin. "We've got a little issue with your structure." She waved a laser pointer at the fence like it was a murder weapon, the red dot dancing mockingly across the wood. "It's encroaching on HOA common ground by a whopping 14 inches. You'll need to tear it down by week's end, or fines start ticking like a bomb, $3.50 a day." Alex blinked, his coffee turning bitter on his tongue. The city had staked the lines himself. He'd double-checked with the surveyor app on his phone back then. "Gloria, this fence has stood here longer than your presidency. Where's the proof?" She flashed a smile that didn't reach her eyes, handing over a crisp sheet with an HOA seal that looked suspiciously like it came from a dollar store stamp kit. "Oh, honey, the board's updated our maps. Transparency is key to our thriving community. You know." As she sauntered out, heels clicking on his pavers, Alex caught the glint of her phone, recording the whole thing. He stood there, steam rising from his mug, realizing this wasn't about inches, it was about control. And Gloria had just drawn first blood. By noon, the violation notice was viral on the neighborhood app. Gloria's post pinned at the top, ensuring fairness for all, resident boundary infraction addressed. Comments flooded in like rubberneckers at a crash, about time someone enforced the rules, from the guy who mowed his lawn at dawn. "And is that the Rivera place?" Heard they cut corners on everything from anonymous accounts that smelled like Gloria's sock puppets. Alex's wife, Mia, pregnant with their first and already on bed rest for high blood pressure, scrolled through it all, her face paling. "Alex, they're calling you a cheater. Like we're some kind of land grabbers." He paced the kitchen, the orange tag flapping on their mailbox like a scarlet letter. "It's bullshit, Mia. But if I push back now, she'll make it worse." Inside, though, Alex's mind raced. He'd seen Gloria at the last HOA meeting, preaching about moral upkeep while fining old Mrs. Talbot for her bird feeder attracting pests. He pulled up his old emails, the permit PDFs glowing on his screen. Everything matched the original survey. But when he called the county clerk, the line went to voicemail twice before a harried voice picked up. "Rivera property?" "Yeah. Records show a recent access flag. Can't say more without a formal request." Alex hung up, a knot forming in his gut. That afternoon, Gloria knocked again, this time with her husband, Ted, a mid-level drone in the county planning office, trailing behind like a reluctant shadow. "Just following up," she said, beaming as Ted nodded mechanically. Ted here's confirmed the discrepancy. "It's all in the bylaws, Section 7B. Property integrity." Ted avoided eye contact, mumbling, "Yeah. Maps don't lie." Alex crossed his arms. Funny. Because my map says otherwise. Care to show me the original? Gloria's laugh tinkled like broken glass. Oh. Alex. We're all about community spirit. No need for hostility. Just comply. And we'll forget this little mix-up. As they left, Alex snapped a photo of Ted's county badge. That night, while Mia slept fitfully, he dug online, forums buzzing with HOA horror stories. One post stood out: watch for forged surveys. My ex-HOA pres used hubby and zoning to rewrite lines. Alex leaned back. The pieces clicking. Gloria wasn't enforcing rules, she was inventing them to play queen. The whispers turned to stares over the next few days. Neighbors averted eyes at the mailbox. But Alex caught the side glances, the kind that said, "Troublemaker." Gloria escalated with a community bulletin email: reminder, non-compliance erodes our shared values. The Rivera fence poses a safety hazard, potential flooding risks. Attached was a doctored photo of his yard. Photoshopped puddles added for drama. Mia burst into tears over breakfast. Alex. The doctor's worried about my stress. We can't afford fines with the baby coming. He hugged her. But his resolve hardened like concrete. I'm not tearing down shit without proof. Quietly. He hired a retired surveyor named Hank. A grizzled vet with a pickup full of gadgets and a disdain for paper pushers. Hank arrived at dawn, beeping his metal detector along the grass. These pins don't move unless God's pissed, he grumbled. Unearthing a rusted marker stamped 1987. Your fence is spot on, kid. Inside your line by a foot. Alex exhaled. But the relief was short-lived. Gloria appeared like a bad omen. Phone out. Filming. Unauthorized digging on HOA-adjacent land? That's a new violation. Gentlemen. Hank snorted without looking up. Ma'am. I'm verifying facts. You got a problem with geometry? Gloria's cheeks flushed. Her polite mask cracking. This is insubordination. The board will hear about this, and fines double for defiance. She stormed off. But not before muttering into her phone. Note, resident conspiring with outsiders. That evening, Alex's inbox pinged, a summons to an emergency compliance hearing. Mia fretted. What if they lien our house? But Alex. Scrolling through county access logs he'd requested via public records, thanks to a tip from an online sleuth. Spotted Ted's login timestamps. 9 accesses in a month. All editing boundary files. They're cooking the books, he whispered. He reached out to a real estate lawyer. Elena. Who specialized in HOA takedowns. Send me everything, she said over the phone. Her voice sharp as a tack. This smells like fraud. As tension simmered, Gloria upped the ante, orange spray paint slashed across Alex's garden, marking correction zones through his tomato plants. Preserving aesthetics, her note read. Alex photographed it all. His patience a simmering pot. Neighbors started knocking quietly, old mister. Finch confessed. She fined me $2,000 for my shed last year, said it violated a rule that vanished when I checked. The cracks in Gloria's facade were showing. Her moral high ground looking more like a sinking ship. The community center buzzed like a hive on hearing night. Folding chairs crammed with locals munching popcorn like it was a matinee. Gloria presided at the front. Blazer starched. Flanked by Ted and a slick attorney who looked fresh out of a bad legal drama. The projector beamed her evidence, a glossy map with red lines carving up Alex's yard like a butcher's chart. Ladies and gentlemen, Gloria intoned. Voice quivering with feigned righteousness. Mr. Rivera's encroachment threatens our drainage system, think flooded basements. Ruined picnics. We've given him every chance. But defiance must end. Her lawyer chimed in. Plus, his online complaints border on slander. We seek full board support for removal and penalties. Murmurs rippled. He's always been sketchy, from a Gloria loyalist. Alex sat stoic. Mia gripping his hand. Elena and Hank at his side. When Gloria yielded the floor with a smug "Present your theories," Elena stood, clicking her remote. The screen split, Gloria's map versus a forensic breakdown. This 1996 amendment uses a font invented in 2005, Elena said coolly. Zooming in. In that signature? Lifted pixel for pixel from a 1980s archive. Forgery 101. Gasps echoed. Hank unrolled his map. Pins marked in bold. Iron stakes don't lie, your fence is legal. Gloria. But yours? Encroaches on public land by 20 inches. Laughter bubbled. Dark and satisfying. As Gloria's face twisted from smug to scarlet. This is outrageous. My husband's office verified. Ted shrank in his seat. Then the county inspector, summoned by Elena's tip, rose with a log printout. Mrs. Henson. Explain Ted's logins editing these files last week. Silence slammed down. Gloria stammered. It's a misunderstanding. For the community's good. Her attorney whispered frantically. But the room erupted in whispers. She faked it all? Those fines we paid. Gloria's eyes darted. Panic flashing as her pearl-clutching empire crumbled under the fluorescent glare. The inspector nodded. Investigation opens now, forgery. Abuse of power. Ted buried his face, Gloria's phone clattered. Her transparency exposed as a sham. Neighbors cheered quietly as she slunk back. The air thick with schadenfreude. Spring bloomed in Willowbrook like a fresh start. The air free of Gloria's suffocating decrees. The county probe hit fast, Ted fired. Gloria stripped of her title. Facing charges for fraud that could mean jail time. The HOA board, now led by humbled locals, refunded bogus fines and rewrote bylaws. No more unchecked power trips. Neighbors rebuilt sheds and gardens without fear. Toasting Alex at block parties. You saved us from that tyrant, Mr. Finch said. Clinking beers. Mia gave birth to little Sophia under clear skies. Her blood pressure steady. The fence standing tall as a symbol of quiet victory. One evening, as Alex walked the yard, the cedar glowing golden, he spotted a for sale sign at Gloria's house, her deck half dismantled per the inspector's order. Poetic justice. Served with a side of irony. The neighborhood breathed easier. But whispers lingered about her parting shot, you'll regret this. Yet peace reigned. The lies buried like those fake survey pins. But tell me, was Gloria the real villain? Or just a symptom of a system that lets petty tyrants hide behind rules? Who's truly at fault when community becomes code for control?